Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We are so honored to be here to discuss about NAS backup with you. In this webinar, you can have a knowledge about challenges of enterprise-based NAS backup, considerations about creating your DR plan, and learn how to protect your data with Vinchin NAS backup. During the webinar, we would love you to join in our LinkedIn group to get our prices. You can search Vinchin Live group to find our group, or just you can scan our QR code on the screen. Before we get started, let me introduce myself and my colleague. I am Casey, Vinchin's marketing manager, and my partner is Jake, our senior solution architect. He will do Vinchin last backup and the demonstration and answer all your questions in Q&A session. Also, we have our technical support team in the chat room. Just feel free to type if you have any questions. So now let's get started. So our first part is the challenges of enterprise NAS backup. Backup is broken ranged a large NAS user. They had too many files, too much data, and not enough time. I believe it is a common situation for all of us. The customer's business depended on their data, and it was not protected. NAS backup challenges are neither unique nor new. Still, there is hope. After a long time try and research, Vinchin understands why NAS is so difficult to protect and the architecture you need to succeed, and how to solve your NAS backup pain. There are three challenges with protecting NAS servers. The data is really important. I believe all of us know it. And it is slow and expensive to backup. And it is even more slow and expensive to recover your data. According to Sage's data reports, managing all that new data is challenging for businesses. The cost of storing, reading, writing, and moving data can be significant and complicated. Without good planning, the result could be significant storage cost challenges, overruns, and unpredicted service charges. So I want to show you some crucial data. And 63% average growth in data available per organization every month. 68% of the average enterprise's data is going unused for business insights. Customers use NAS for everything from home directions to virtual machines to databases to customer applications. The workloads are so varied that most NAS administrators don't fully understand what is running on their systems. They do know, however, the file count, capacity, and business risk trend in only one direction, growth. So here come to our next part, creating your own disaster and recovery plan. So what is an IT disaster recovery plan? Recovery plan, also known as a DR plan or DRP, is a set of tools and procedures that a company uses to recover from a major data disruption. In general, it helps an organization to react to disasters, take action to prevent damages, and quickly recover operations. So here, there are 6 considerations before you need to create your own disaster and recovery plan. The first point is data growth. With the explosion of data, enterprises are facing challenges in managing and backing up their data. NAS devices are often used to store large amounts of data, and backing up this data can be a time-consuming and receiver-intensive process. And the point 2 is complexity. Enterprise NAS backup can be complex due to the variety of NAS devices. We have already discussed this in the part 1. And managing backups across multiple devices can be really challenging. Backup window. The amount of time available to backup data can be limited, particularly for mission-critical systems that need to be available 24/7. Backup windows can be further constrained by factors such as network bandwidth, data transfer rates, and available storage capacity. So here we have 3 points I will share you later. Let's come to our poll part. In your DR plan, which element do you value most? You can just type your answer below our chat room, and we will pick a guy to win our gift card. We have some time to let you to just write your answers, and while you are writing your answers, I would love to continue to share you the left 3 points. And in the event of disasters such as fire, flood, or cyber attack, enterprises need to be able to quickly recover their data. This requires a well-designed disaster recovery plan that includes backup and recovery strategies for NAS devices. We can draw a conclusion that the backup window and disaster recovery, we need software that be available 24/7, and someone can just help us to solve so many problems in variety system and situation. Also, enterprises may have regulatory or business requirements for maintaining data for long periods of time. This can pose challenges for NAS backup, as storing large amounts of data for extended periods can be expensive and require careful management. And so the last point is also important. NAS devices can store sensitive data, and backing up this data requires careful attention to security. Enterprises need to ensure that their backup strategies and tools provide adequate security measures such as interpretation and access controls. So here I would love to announce our lucky guy, and her name is Lola. Congratulations to win our e-gift card, and our team will contact you later. So just wait patiently. So end of the question, and if you also have some answers that you wanted to share us, just follow our LinkedIn group, and we can discuss our question for more tips. So next part is going to be shared with by our partner, Jack. He will show you Vinchin NAS backup and give you a technical demo. You can ask him questions after he do the technical demo, and we will answer your questions in the Q&A session. So let's give our time to Jack.
Hello, everyone. This is Jack, Senior Solution Architect, and now I will share my screen. For a moment. Okay, here is our today's topic, NAS backup and recovery, and it concludes about 3 parts. Firstly, I will give a brief introduction about NAS device, and the second part is Vinchin's special NAS backup and recovery solution, and the third part is real demonstration. Okay, let's talk about the first part about NAS. Most of us may be a little familiar with NAS device. That is a device connected to network and provides services like file sharing and data store. It has actually some advantages. Firstly, it is easy to deploy and manage. Secondly, it allows easy remote file and data sharing from anywhere or any device using different protocols. As NAS is a network-based storage solution, it is very easy to expand. Users can add more hard drives or expand storage capacity as needed without shutting down the system or stopping data access. For reliability, NAS devices typically use RAID technology to distribute data across multiple hard drives, improving data reliability. Compared to other storage devices, NAS is more cost-effective. Okay, and for NAS application scenarios, which has a range of scenarios such as monitoring, CRM, financial forecasting, VOD, video editing, And the enterprise can use NAS device to share data and collaborate across departments or branches. In science domain like computer vision, natural language processing, speech recognition, autonomous driving, medical diagnosis, they have already used NAS for a long time. In a word, any industry that needs data sharing can use NAS as an efficient tool. As we can see, NAS has been used in many areas, so the data of NAS becomes more and more important. The most effective way to protect this data is to backup, but traditional NAS backup may have some changes. For example, backup single disk of NAS device may be difficult to operate or maintain. NAS built-in backup normally backup data to the same device may not ensure data security, because if NAS device fails, all data is not available. And the most used traditional NAS backup is backup data through NDMP protocol, which may be time-consuming, especially for large amounts of small files. And the last change is that the backup data is unprotected from ransomware. Okay, let's take a look about the second part about Vinchin's NAS backup and recovery solution. Here is the architect. At the local site, Vinchin mounts NFS or CIFS protocol NAS device and use NAS protection module to backup files or folders to data store. To prevent standalone storage device failure or natural disaster, you can copy your backup data to another local data store or remote data store. Besides, storage protection enabled storage data store can prevent your backup data from ransomware. Vinchin provides a flexible backup strategy, like a full incremental or differential backup at the scheduled time, and the retention policy to retain by restore points or by days. To solve the most challenged inefficiency of backup and recovery, Vinchin adopts some advanced features. Firstly, it has self-developed algorithm both in widths and depths, and it uses concurrent threads both in scanning and transferring at the same time. Besides, it can merge small files to a larger block to accelerate the backup process. For compression, it can be used to reduce the backup data size and AES 256 encryption to secure your backup data. Okay, when backup, you may encounter that a lot of files or folders needs to be backed up. So our wildcard filter can simplify the management. You can use the filter to exact match or wildcard match and use multiple filters, which really simplifies the management. As for recovery, Vinchin provides a flexible destination. You can restore to your original device with original path or selected path. You can also restore to another NAS device. And apart from NAS device, you can restore your files or folders to a Windows or Linux file system. And the recovery is based on granular level. So you don't need to restore all the files, but some critical files that you want to restore. And for recovery strategy, you can use a permanent speed controller to limit the speed of recovery process, in order not to interfere with your business production. And you can increase up to 32 threads to accelerate the recovery process. Okay, as the third part is about our live demonstration, and with a moment, I will share. As you may say, here is the homepage. When you log in, you will get an overview of the Vinchin backup and recovery system. And before backup and recovery NAS device, you need to collect one or several NAS devices to Vinchin system. You may go to resources module and NAS share. As you may see, I have collected several shared paths, but with one NAS device. You can click on the Add button to collect one NAS device with one shared path. Here, you can select the protocol, which is CIFS or NFS, and you need to put in the IP of this NAS device and share the path. And for the permission, if you enable read and write permission, which means you can back up the files from this NAS device, and you can also recover to this NAS device. And if you just enable read only, you can only back up but not recovery. Okay, and about the version, you need to designate one version or default, and you need to input the username and password and click OK to end this NAS device with shared path to Vinchin. Okay, let's create a NAS backup and recovery. You can just go through 4 simple step wizards to create a NAS file or folder backup job. Firstly is to select a source. Here, I will select this folder, which includes about 1,600 files. And for the wildcard filter I just mentioned in the PPT is that you can either leave out this, or you can also enable the exclusion to exclude some exact file. For example, 1.txt file you don't want to backup, you can exclude. And you can also use some character to filter not so files that matches this condition. For example, I do not want to backup all the txt type files. I can use this. And for the inclusion, which means you just include some files. For example, if I use include filter and I input this 1.txt file, which means I just want to backup this file. Okay, the next step is to select a backup destination. And the third part is important to select the backup strategy. Firstly, you can set the backup mode as once off, which means this backup job will be completed only once. You can also set the backup job as scheduled. You can optionally set full backup at a specific time. For example, every Friday at 14 o'clock. You can, if you need more frequent backup, you can enable repeat, and you can set the repeat interval. For example, after 1 hour, and you can start another backup job. And you can also enable the incremental or differential backup as you wish at a specific time. As for the speed controller, you can optionally enable a permanent or scheduled time limit at a specific time of scheduled or permanent time controller for all time, and in order not to interfere with your business production. As for the data storage policy, we recommend to enable the data compression to reduce the backup data size. And for the data encryption, if you enable this, you can either use random password or customize the password. And if you enable the password, when you restore, all the files need to pass through the password verification. Okay, and for the retention policy, you can either retain your backup data by the restore points, which means by numbers, or by the disk. And for the advanced strategy, you can increase or decrease the transfer rates or the scatter rates up to 32. For example, maybe at 10, I will increase to 10. Okay, the last step is review and confirm. You can also configure the name. For example, today, and you can check all your configurations you just selected, and if nothing wrong, you can submit this job. And you will be redirected to the jobs page of the Monitor Center module. And you can unfold this button to see more details. As you may see, the status is pending because I set a scheduled job and the time is not due. You can either wait or you can manually start this job right now. If you stop this job, you can also edit the settings you just selected, or you can delete this job. And at current jobs tab, here we'll show all the current jobs. And for the history jobs, if the job has been done, it will be listed here. And the same as the virtual machine backup and the NAS backup tab. This tab is especially for the NAS backup. Okay, and you can also click on the job name to the job details page to see more details. For example, here is a job flow to see the backup speed. And at the right side, you may see the summary. For example, job name, job type. And here you can stop this job, and after stop this job, you can delete. And here shows which storage this backup data will be stored. And the strategy and advanced strategy is what we selected when configure the backup job. And it will take some time to start this job. It's scanning. When this job has been done, it will be listed here. Here we may see it is capturing backup data size. It will wait some time because I prepared a file which is a little larger. I will recreate another job because it seems that's a little slower. Mm. Okay, I think maybe Iris is using this NAS device, and I have just created a backup job to back up some NAS files from a NAS device, and After that, you can go to the last backup data to check this backup data you just backed up. Here is the last data we just backed up. And for this backup data, you can either comment, or you can, as a reminder, you can also delete this backup data. And you can also set a retention tag for this backup data. Okay, and after that, we can create a restore job to restore the backup data we just created to another to original or to server. Similar 4 steps. Firstly, you need to create to choose a backup source. And this is granular restore, and you can choose one or all the files you just want to restore as you wish. Okay, as for the restore path, you can restore to original NAS and the original path or another path as you wish. Here, I will try to restore the same NAS and the same path. As for the restore path, you can manually select a path. For example, create a new folder, or you can restore to original path as you wish. Okay, and for the strategy, you can also set a speed controller to limit your recovery speed. And for the advanced strategy, you can increase or decrease the transfer rates. And if nothing wrong, and you can check and submit this job. As it's preparing, and it has been done very quickly because as it's just a little files. Okay, after that, let's talk about to prevent your standalone storage device or prevent natural disaster. You can use our backup copy function to copy your backup data to another data store or to offsite data store to prevent natural disaster or standalone storage failure. Here, you can create a copy job. Firstly, you can select the data source. You can either select by the copy job. So all the backup data generated by this backup data will be copied. Okay, as for the schedule, the same. You can set a once-off copy job at a specific time, and you can also set a schedule job at every day, at every week, every month, at a specific time as you wish. As for the strategy, firstly is about destination. You can either copy your backup data to another NAS device, or you can copy your backup data to an offsite storage device. At offsite backup server, you can set 0. As here I have set 2, and I will choose 1. And for the storage of this offsite backup server. And for the transmission strategy, you can enable the encrypted SSL-based transfer and compress the transfer to reduce the backup data size. And for the retention policy, the copy jobs retention policy is independent from the backup retention policy. So, for example, you can set at backup job to retain your backup data by days, maybe 5 days, and you can set at the copy job. You can retain your backup data by 10 days. Okay, and for the speed controller, it's optional, same as permanent or scheduled speed controller. And the last step, you can configure your name, and you can submit this job. Because this is also a scheduled job, and you can submit, you can start. Okay, and this job has been done. We can go to the another Vinchin server to check about this backup data. Okay, at NAS module and backup copy and the copy data, you may say here, this backup data has been copied here. For at remote sites, you can either delete this backup point, can comment and set retention tag. And for the restore, you can create at remote sites, you can create a restore job and either select the local backup data, or you can also set the copied backup data here. And you can select several files, and also you can select at remote site, so the NAS device, or you can select to a file server as you wish. Okay, that's what we prevent from natural disaster. Okay, and for the NAS, another function is copy retrieve. For example, if your original data store is corrupted, or due to the different retention policy, for example, you retain 5 backup points at the original site and 10 backup points at the remote site. So if you, due to your retention policy, the earlier backup point has been deleted, but you want to restore to that point. So you can use the copy data from the remote site, and you can create a retrieve job. Yeah, retrieve source. And the second step is to select a retrieve destination. At the target storage, you need to select as a copy. You may check about here. As at the worker site, here is a copy. About retrieve strategy, you can either use encrypted transfer and compressed transfer optionally, and the same as speed controller. Okay, and this job has been done, and you can check about copy data. Here, this backup data has been retrieved from the remote site to original site. And I just said that you can restore to another physical server, so we will try to check that. And after this job done, we can go to the Windows Server to check about this file. Okay, let's go to the and the NAS file has been restored here. Okay, I think about the last feature is what we call the protection, the storage protection. Since that your backup data is very important, when you restore your backup data to data store, there is also the possibility that your data store can be infected with ransomware. So you can go to the systems and system settings and the security settings to enable the storage protection. And that's all. And for example, it has a condition that your storage device is an exclusive root device. Here, I'm using the physical server installed Vinchin server, and its local disk is an exclusive block disk. So I'm trying to log in the backend of Vinchin. Okay, as you may see, this directory has stored all the files, all backup data. And you may see this file has directed all the backup data and including NAS. And I will try to remove this directory. As you may see, I'm logging with identity of root. I still cannot delete any files. So all the files I cannot modify or delete the files. So that's what storage protection to prevent your backup data from ransomware. The backup data, I mean, included all the backup data, including virtual machine and the NAS files, files backup data. Okay, I think I have done about the NAS backup and recovery. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Okay, let's check about chat box. So let's give time to Cassie.
Okay, thank you so much, Jack. And now here, before we have our Q&A part, we would love to share we would love to just draw up our Vinchin's advantages and show you Vinchin milestone to let the world use Vinchin backup software is our vision. And you can say here I would love to introduce a user story about NAS backup. This is a machinery production factory. So wait for a second, and I will choose some question, and Jack would answer. And here is a question from Eva Johnson, and she asks, "Hello Jack, can you hear me?" And she asks that, "Can I restore file banks from my NAS server to a Linux Windows server?" The food is
Sorry, I just forget to unmute. Okay, you can restore your file, your NAS backup data to the physical server or virtual machine, no matter it's Windows or Linux. Just need to install the agent. Yes. So the question is this.
Okay, thank you, Eva Johnson. Thank you for your support. And here is the second question from Anne Graylish. Thank you so much, Anne. And she asked that, can I encrypt the NAS backup data?
Yes, you have two way. One is that I think you two way. One is that you can encrypt your backup data from unauthorized access. So another that is when transferring your backup data is transferring with a protocol SSL. So the question is this.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your care to our product. And the third question is from Jed Cavilla. I hope I correct your answer your name correctly. And he asked, can I restore the NAS backup to another NAS device?
Yes, you just need to collect another NAS device to Vinchin as at the module of the resources and NAS share.
Okay, and he also has one more question. He said, I want to confirm that the storage protection, I mean, ransomware prevention work with NAS backups.
Yeah, actually, I said that the storage protection protects all the backup data. For example, protects all the backup data on the storage, which is exclusive NAS exclusive block device. For example, like DAS, for example, like FC. So NAS protection, NAS backup data can also be protected with this storage device.
Okay, thank you so much for our help, and thank you, Jack, for answer these questions. And for the questions we don't answer, please just wait patiently, and we will respond to your answer or email you later. Now our Q&A session time is over. We will select the most important questions to form a collection and post them on Vinchin's LinkedIn page. Here I would like to announce the lucky one, and her name is Anne Graylish and Jed Khalifa. I'm so sorry if I spell your name wrong. Congratulations. We will contact you later and send you gift card. So our webinar is about to finish in maybe just 2 minutes. Thank you guys for joining our webinar. And if we have any questions, just to get connected with Vinchin Backup and Recovery. You can always find us on our Vinchin Live group. Just search Vinchin Live group on LinkedIn page. Or if you wanted to get more demonstration or the demonstration video, you can just subscribe our YouTube channel, and you can find more demonstration or working videos on our YouTube channel. So thank you guys for our help, and we will see you next time in our next webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. See you next time.